And so I thought I'd show you around the couple different programs I use. What you're looking at now is DaVinci Resolve, which is a pretty amazing software that does 8K editing, color correction, visual effects. The color correction is the main purpose that we're going to be using it for, and it's pretty much the best around for that. Other software using, we've got Movie Magic, which is one of the top um, screenwriting softwares around. Been around for ages. It's really good. Um, it's not my main one, um, but I like to also write in different things just to keep up fresh with it. So it's kind of interesting with it. Another, this is another, this is the Kit. Um, you're looking at the same writing in here. Another screenwriting software. It's I don't really like the screen design to this, but it is available. You can do, n- pretty much. They can all do pretty much the same thing, but it's pretty decent software. I think I've got Fade In is another one that is also very, very good. Um, it's kind of like a basic sort of design. The idea really when you're writing with any type of screenwriting software is you want to take out any barriers between you and the final project. So it's kind of like, hey, here's my thought. I want to get it down, get it ready, and format it correctly, and you don't want to have too many barriers in between your thought and the program. So it's kind of this is really good with that. And the one I use primarily is Final Draft, and it's the industry standard. They say stats on it are 95% of the people working in the industry actually use this. Um, Kind of one of the things they do is also has this nice scene view. We're looking at the part of it. They have the index cards, which most of them have these days. The beat board is also amazing. So if you have an idea and you say, "Well, this is my first idea. I like it, but my second idea is better," so you can just flip them around and just task all your ideas in here. Um, you, know, you can just flip them around any way you want. So here's my idea. Just flip 'em around until you get them until the way you want to do them. Um, so one of the neat things about this, they all, I think, pretty much have timelines in them, which is the first, well, the real bulk of your script that for a selling point, it's got to be within the first 10 pages, and that goes to your agent. And if he's interested in it, he might read beyond 10 pages. If he's not interested, the rest of it's, not important. And then you can break your first act, your second act, and your third act down. You want to set goals, you got to get to this point by a certain amount of pages. And certainly by the end, they had this one going out to 120 pages, but really that's a pretty long script for um, most of the projects. So anywhere between 110 to 117 pages is about right. So if we look at the script, we're going to look at a couple different things here. We start off this edit for it is basically in a gym, uh, and we hit a special effect right there. Is going someone gets tossed through a portal. Okay. Dialogue, blah, 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 blah. Then there's a series of shots, and this is what we're working on today. Body starts to change. So we have a character who charges a close to godlike character. He's obviously going to not, things are not going to work out as planned for him. And something changes, starts to change with him, and then his soul leaves his body, flies behind him, and lands hard on the floor, then disintegrates. So there's a couple special effects here. So I'm going to work today on this body starts to change. And that can be done a couple different ways. And I'm not really totally set on what I want to do with it yet. So something's got to, and it's only going to be a couple seconds in time, because this is the main effect here. So how are we going to do this? Well, there's a couple different softwares we can play with. There is Blender, which is a node-based, and it's great for destruction. If you ever want to do something with destruction, is good for. Um, I'm going to be using uh, Blender for basically two scenes that I know of in the project. One is going to be going from city to city um, throughout the world and just pull them down, pull the cities in, make them 3D, fly through them, all that kind of stuff. Actual known cities. New York, Los Angeles, Moscow, all those different cities are going to go right on in there. And the other thing I want to use is for a trench. Um, a trench is breaks open in the building and kind of neat. And Blender's just awesome for doing that stuff. It's a very difficult software to learn, and yeah, it's kind of intimidating, but once you get it, it's not too bad. Then we've got what else software we got here? Nuke is another node-based. Um, if you think of the difference between After Effects is basically your uh, layered software. Add one thing on top of another until you get your effect. Node-based is when we really get down to doing something really super technical in there, and you got to get really defined down into a thing. That's what they're good for. Nuke is definitely one of the best at node-based work, and it's great for compositing, visual effects. It's just state of the art. Not gonna use it for this project though, or for this part though. Of course, you got Photoshop, which is that's a good software for still images and editing some stuff. And Cinema 4D is also um, one of the best softwares around. It's also great at modeling, texturing, animation, rendering. What its main selling point is, it's a ease of use. It's also node based, but it's also its ease of use that they say, hey, this is really intuitive, easy to use, learning curve isn't that bad. Um, so if I were going to choose to do a scene where he does maybe the body illuminates before the soul leaves the body, I might do it in Cinema 4D. It would be a pretty good choice for that. And I got one other one in here that I use, but I didn't pull it up, so I'm not gonna bother with it right now. We're gonna go into After Effects. Oh, and this is also Premiere, which does this is when you get done at the end of the day, have all your stuff together. Premiere is what you put everything into, and then you make your project. You pull all the stuff together in that. All right, let me get rid of this thing. So next thing I'm gonna do, pull up After Effects. I think what we're gonna do is either we could put veins on the face. I got a basic look here. It's just some stock footage, and go with face turns to there. And we could put a couple seconds before the person's soul leaves their body. We could do the veins coming out of the face. We could do a subsurface. Um, I'm thinking more of something that breaks apart. And then I think that could be a different goal, especially since it's really not going to last too long. Let's try and see how that's going to work out. So we go to the end of the clip. First thing we do is um, track it and put a null object in there. And then we're going to go onto there. Animation. Let's track. what I like to do is track from the end, because no matter what I think, I'm just going to build it from the end on there. Pull it back. This is going to be, the angle on here is not great, so this is not going to look that good. Um, but what the heck. That shadow's going to go away, so let's see how well this is going to track. All right, the track just basically falls apart. That's all right. I think I've got enough to work with it. Hmm, that's going to be challenging. All right, so back into there. Put on a null layer, tracking data. Okay, tracking data is done. Let's get rid of this thing. Regular layout. Let's figure out a break across the face. Let's do. Oh, let me straighten this up down here. Okay, that could work. Let's get rid of this. Go on this. Let's paint the face here. Oh, it's gonna be tough. That shadow's gonna be kind of messy to play with. I should have been smarter and figured out an easier object to use. But what the hell, we're here. Okay. That's going to look about right. So now we're just going to, yeah, it doesn't look too hideous. I'm just going to pre-compose that. I'll call it. That's fine. All right, now we're going to do a curves adjustment. First curve we're going to do is on the movie itself. Let's get in there. What I'm going to kind of do is just blend these things in here. And that could almost work. I'd actually be satisfied for a couple of seconds with that coming in. That may just work like that. But let's establish a glow to it. I don't think I want red. I think I want a closer to red. Yeah, that could work. Okay, so let's do another curves adjustment onto. Oh, yep, get back there. Let's see how that looks. Yeah, that could work. So just for a few seconds, that kind of that could look interesting enough. So now what we're going to do is just All right, so where is it breaking apart? Right about there. So if we tell it, now we're telling the system basically, as you're going through, there's nothing there, nothing there, nothing there. Now the crack's going to start coming through, coming through, coming through into 100%.